we call climate change adaptation is really where the rubber hits the road. It's reality. It's the point at which people begin to realise that climate change is a real thing and that it's not a real thing that we can afford to translate to the future. It's a real thing that we have to take responsibility for now. So everything we can do in adaptation services, in understanding what it means to change businesses to adapt, is about preparedness. It's about having options and having choices, and most importantly, using the sense of opportunity and business model and market generation that comes from creating new businesses and new technologies and new ways of thinking about adapting to a changing world.
We still have a lot to do in infrastructure. We don't have all the infrastructure we need. What is complex is that we have to create infrastructure for water utilities which will be efficient in 30 years, and we don't exactly know what will be the situation. Will we have too much water, not enough? So we have a complex situation of planning. We need people who look on long term, but also help us to adapt. So regulators is something that IWA really think important and can help the water industry to adapt and to develop this strategy.
We are funding research and innovation in order to find the solutions that we need for climate change adaptation, for disaster resilience, prevention in the future, how we can use nature to help us fight climate change. And I've just heard about a project that was awarded to the Lisbon city under our LIFE program. It's called Lungs, and it's going to use sheep, so animals, in the parks in order to take care of the lawn. It's going to have a big impact locally. It's going to be attractive and interest the people to see that we can actually find very simple, very natural solutions to adapt to the consequences of climate change.
On the vineyards, we focus a lot in the efficient use of water by measuring by probes the humidity of the soils, the needings of the plants. Also controlling a lot when we have broken tubes, because it's where you lost a lot of water in agriculture. Just with very small attitudes like using lower diameter hoses and sensibilizing the people who works on the winery to the importance of the water.
Microsoft's mission is to empower every organization and person on the planet to achieve more. We have a program called AI for Earth, which is focused on making accessible data science techniques for organizations that are working on climate change, water, biodiversity, agriculture, and are also focused on deploying a responsible AI way to address climate change going forward.
I'm optimistic based on what I have been seeing in companies. So our experience is that in the last year or last couple of years, climate change has effectively started to show up at the board level. That's where I see that things are changing, but we hope that with sustainable finance action from EU and legislation that will come from that, banks and financial sector in general might have a greater role.
I'm a young scientist. I have been reading the IPCC reports, and the science is very clear. There is no time to waste. We have to deal with this problem across different disciplines, and we have to be able to communicate and raise awareness across the public, because this is such a complex problem, and we can deal with this just by working together, by collaborating, and by communicating and educating people on this matter.